So after an underwhelming origin story and a third sequel which didn't go as well as people would have hoped, Hugh Jackman finally gets his shot in the limelight, and it's better. I am of course talking about the Wolverine. Still better than an overuse of CGI, right? So if you were in Logan's position and you got offered the chance to be mortal, what would you do? Would you want to die, or would you want to be living forever? I'm just wondering about this, because that is the plot for the Wolverine, and I for one actually really liked the way that they showed, him going through this sort of problem, and how they showed him sort of reacting to how becoming mortal would be, and they show his suffering throughout the movie. And I'm not saying that I enjoy suffering in a movie, I'm just saying they've done it really well in the Wolverine. So on to the review. So with people confused about whether this is a direct sequel to Xmen Origins Wolverine like I thought it was, no it isn't. When this was first announced, I thought it was going to be a sequel to Xmen Origins Wolverine, but no. Anyway, I'm going to talk about Xmen Origins Wolverine for a minute. I know that many fans and critics hated the movie, and I'm not going to say I hated it, because I'd be lying if I said I full-on hated it, but I can see why it's generally disliked by fans, because, it's supposed to be Wolverine's own origin story, and whilst it is Wolverine's origin story, and we do get to see some cool scenes with, Logan transforming into the Wolverine, it's just that was sort of glossed over within the first sort of hour, maybe even half an hour. It was just glossed over so quickly, and suddenly, oh look, here's Wolverine, and that's what I didn't like about it. I can see why it's generally disliked. And is the Wolverine better than Xmen Origins? Yes, it is a hell of a lot better. For one, the action is cheesy, but it's not cheesy for the sake of being cheesy. It's cheesy for the best sort of reason. I mean, here's the sort of thing, have you ever played Saints Row the Third? And you know that the boss fights are just these fast-paced, cinematic sort of boss fights. And there's this fight with Wolverine and these guys on this train, and it is just like one of the boss fights from Saints Row the Third. If you chose the Kill Killbane mode on Saints Row the Third for the last mission, it was exactly like that, just fast-paced, cheesy for the sake of being, well, not for the sake of being cheesy, it was cheesy for the best sort of reason. And it's not bad for being cheesy. But and it's not cheesy like Xmen Origins Wolverine, and it doesn't just add in random characters that we didn't really care about. I mean, sure, there's quite a few characters that could have been cut, maybe, but there was a lot of characters in it that could have been cut. But it wasn't like Xmen Origins Wolverine, where they put in fan favorites such as Deadpool and Gambit and Cyclops. There weren't characters thrown in like that just to please fans, and it obviously didn't work the first time around because fans weren't too pleased with it. So people want to see Deadpool on the big screen. Well, why don't you just wait till 2016 to see him get his own movie? Because if you want to see Deadpool on the big screen, you will be completely disappointed by Xmen Origins' portrayal of Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds put in his all, but anyway, I'm not here to talk about Xmen Origins or Deadpool. I just sort of started speaking about that. But I'm here to talk about the Wolverine. So the Wolverine starts off, and it is a direct sequel. Well, I wouldn't say direct sequel. I mean, it's probably set some time after X-Men 3: The Last Stand, but it is a sequel to it, and not a sequel to X-Men Origins like I expected and like other people expected. But it starts off, and you think, this is kind of slow, and let's talk about how it opens. So the movie opens with Wolverine, which this is one of the main sort of points of the movie. This is the sort of base for the movie. So it starts off with Wolverine, and he's in the war, and the place is getting bombed. So Wolverine takes the opportunity to save a man, and he saves the guy. He takes him into his well, and he protects him from this explosion. And the explosion totally engulfs Wolverine, but because he's got the power to heal, he just instantly heals. And this is one of his recurring nightmares. Then it goes into another one of his recurring nightmares, which involves Jean Grey from Jean Grey, who died in X-Men The Last Stand. And yeah, Wolverine's having nightmares about her, and now he's walking the streets, and it's pretty cool. He looks like a proper homeless guy. Like, I don't know if he is supposed to be homeless in the movie. It's just that he's walking the streets, and he's sort of he's not the Wolverine that we all know. So yeah, he's got this long hair and this long beard and this really stereotypical sort of homeless look to him. And yeah, like, it just starts off really slow, and you think, this better get better, and it does get a lot better. As I mentioned with the cheesy action scenes towards the beginning, like, there is a lot of the cheesy action, and there's a lot of cheesy dialogue. Like, the main villain, she's not really, it's Viper, as you probably know, but she's not really sort of, I'm not saying that she wasn't explained, because she kind of was. It's just she comes into the movie so quickly, which was kind of a problem, and she was like the cheesiest character. She had the cheesiest dialogue, and she kind of reminded me slightly of Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy from Batman and Robin. Forget I said that. This movie is nothing like Batman and Robin. I am so sorry to the Wolverine for saying that. But anyway, she kind of reminded me slightly of Poison Ivy, but yeah, in a good way. Okay, there's no good way that it could have reminded me of Poison Ivy. I will forget that I said that. But she is, a cheesy villain. But she's sort of, it's not a bad thing. Like, all the cheesiness in the movie and all the sort of stupid action is sort of, because the last fight in the movie is like, it just goes back to the original way of Xmen Origins and just adds in stupid for the sake of stupid. But this time I really enjoyed it. Because in Xmen Origins Wolverine, I thought, the stupidness and the cheesiness is bad. It's not the way an X-Men film should go, because we've never seen it in an X-Men film before. But now we've seen it, it actually really works. And I really liked it. So yeah, like, I never thought I'd say that, because I didn't think, X-Men Origins, as I mentioned, I didn't hate, but I didn't like the action scenes and I didn't like the dialogue. But I liked it here, it really worked. It was like how Pacific Rim worked. It was like they were trying to make a B movie with, top grade special effects. I don't know if that was the sort of plan, because this is Wolverine we're talking about, so it probably wasn't the plan, but it just plays out like that, and you just think, you can't help but think it could have been the plan. And if it was the plan, it worked. If it wasn't the plan, it should have been the plan. So yeah. And there is some really cool sort of fight scenes, as well as the being cheesy, they are cool. Like, there's this one guy who's like an Asian Hawkeye, and like, he just takes out these guys with poison arrows. Yeah, he's pretty badass. But Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Hugh Jackman must be getting old now, but he can still kick ass, and he is still like the only person who can play Wolverine. He is like, if you were ever to change him, it wouldn't be a good thing. Like, it's the way that, they changed Tobey Maguire for Spider-Man. That worked. But if you ever try to change Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, expect a petrol bomb to hit you, Marvel Studios. I'm sorry, that was harsh. But don't change Hugh Jackman. Don't. Yeah. So, anyway, Hugh Jackman still kicks ass at this old sort of age. And I really enjoyed the movie. I thought, Hugh Jackman put in his all, and every actor that was in it put in their all. Like, there's these two Chinese chicks. One of them's a complete badass. And yeah, and then there's this Chinese chick's dad, who is another, I won't ruin who he is, but okay, I'll tell you, he is the guy who was saved by Wolverine towards the beginning, but I won't ruin what he does towards the end of the movie, because yeah, you've probably guessed it by now. But anyway, I'm not going to reveal all of that. But yeah, I really did enjoy the Wolverine, and I thought, it was a lot better than I expected. I thought it would go more of an Origins route than a First Class route. But no, it was sort of, I'd say it wasn't as good as First Class, but miles better than Origins, and I'm going to give it a high rating with 4 out of 5, and it also definitely deserves a thumbs up. So if you're a fan of X-Men, of the character Wolverine, of Hugh Jackman, of cheesy ass action movies, this is a movie you should go and see, like, anytime. Just go and see it. You will not be disappointed if you like cheesy action and you like, just badassery, and you're a fan of Wolverine. You're going to enjoy the movie like I did. And I will say, I will probably get it on Blu-ray, because I could watch this movie again and not get bored, which I can say for quite a lot of movies, but this year there's not too many movies that I could say that for. And I will say, and I might get hate for this, that this movie was actually better than Man of Steel. Yeah, I thought I might get hate for that. If you do hate me for that, just comment below, because I'd like to see your opinion on why Man of Steel was better than the Wolverine. I can think of many reasons why the Wolverine's better. But anyway, are you excited for Days of Future Past? Because if you are, you will know that at the end of the Wolverine, there was this awesome after credit scene which sets up for Days of Future Past. And yeah, it made me really excited. And I for one cannot wait to see Days of Future Past, which will be released in summer 2014. And I hope it's as good as the Wolverine, if not better. So thank you for watching my video. And as always, subscribe, like, anything you want, even give me a dislike. So yeah, thank you for watching and goodbye.